I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Dr. Lars Dingman. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
You know what? Every night is fine as long as you're on this side of the dirt. Who can have a complaint?
Well, do tell us, what side of the dirt are you on right now?
I am on the upside of the dirt because I'm alive.
Love it. And what part of the world are you in right now, Dr. Lars?
Right now I'm in Los Angeles. I have a residence in Los Angeles and in Chicago, and I do a lot of traveling for my speaking engagements and to do my podcast. But right now I'm in Los Angeles where it's a balmy 70 degrees.
Oh, that's great, right? Like I'm just getting all over the world, and definitely it's getting cold, isn't it?
It is. You can feel, of course, people here in California, they complain when it drops below 70, like the end of the world is coming. But, yeah, it's very nice here.
Oh, that's great. Well, tell us, my friend, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Well, they call me the iTunes psychic. I'm able to give people psychic readings in a weird way. People tell me the last 3 songs that they randomly heard, and from that, I'm able to predict their future.
Interesting. So who did you learn that skill from?
I've always been psychic. When I was a child, I was psychic, although it scared the other kids, so I would never actually do it. But since I've been an adult, I've been doing it. I do corporate speaking, and I have a podcast that's in the top 10 on the iTunes, and it's just something that the universe taught me. The entire universe is based on vibration. Atoms vibrate, sound vibrates, light is vibrating photons, and music is a vibration. So by tapping into the music that the universe puts randomly in front of people, it's a way to create a two-way conversation between a person and the alive sensate universe. I realize it sounds a little strange, but it works.
Well, I think in this podcast, like one of the questions I've asked now almost over 1,700 people is, what was your favorite song when you were 12 years old? And definitely we've seen a connection to the song that they chose and who they are, sometimes, most times. So I'm intrigued by what you're doing. Where did you come up with 3 songs?
It just seems to work better. I think, I don't really know for sure, but what my gut tells me is that it represents the 3 temporal frameworks, the past, the present, and the future.
Intriguing. Wow. So you must be having a ton of fun with this, right?
Yeah, I'm a psychic. I'm also naturally hilarious. And the podcast I do, it's called Psychic Circus on the iTunes. You can also find me on the iTunes Psychic is what they call me. And, the universe is a funny place. Sometimes most psychics take themselves so seriously, and I don't. The universe is a funny place. If you don't believe me, go look at your sophomore yearbook picture.
You're most definitely right. So why will you continue on this path that you're following right now, my friend?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm in service to humanity. It's entertaining, and it's really the only thing I do. I enjoy doing it. I have a gift to see things that other people can't see or hear. So I feel it's my duty to use it.
Where's the best place for someone to connect with you?
Social media. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at iTunes Psychic. And the best way is to just subscribe to my podcast on iTunes. You can look up iTunes Psychic, and we've been doing it for a little over a year and a half now, and it's gotten quite popular, so it's very gratifying.
Well, tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Well, I've been doing the psychic stuff for 3 years on the radio, and then I started my own podcast about a year and a half ago. That's pretty much it. That's my business. I never charge anyone for a psychic reading. I do it all for free. And I do that, and I do the corporate speaking, and I do consulting and things like that, but to pay the bills. But one-on-one readings, it's always I don't I don't feel it's right to charge people for a peek at their own future, you know?
Yeah, makes sense. So how does it make you feel when you're doing what you're doing, when you see an individual's response to what you've seen?
It makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You know, so many people, especially in this city, they want to be something they're not. If they're a writer, they want to be a director. If they're a director, they want to be an actor. If they're a waiter, they want to be all of those things, you know. So I feel like I found what my calling is, and that's what I'm doing.
And why would you suggest to someone out there that they do exactly that, which is follow who they are, their own uniqueness?
Well, that's the key to life. You got to figure out what that is. As you say, it's unique, and everyone has their own gifts and talents and blind spots. So you have to figure out who you are and then just follow that path. And I think that's the key to being happy. The people that are unhappy are people that are trying to put a square peg in a round hole.
Most definitely. Amazing audience. Well, we are live with Dr. Lars Dingman. Again, he is the podcast host right here. You could definitely check him out. I just put in an iTunes psychic there. He definitely pops up. Dr. Lars, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Dr. Lars, what's your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory actually was being in the ocean in Hawaii and being pulled under the, pulled in by the undertow and gulping down salt water. I thought I was going to drown. And then some guy picked me up by the bathing suit and saved me. Oh. And it turns out, the water was not even a foot deep. But I was a little kid. I was panicked, and then we all laughed about it. And I remember ever since having a very strong affinity to the deep blue ocean and water. I like to swim and surf and go fishing and things like that. So my earliest memory is the blue water, actually.
How old were you in that memory?
3, 4, I don't know. Very young.
Why do you think this memory is so clear, and how do you see it connecting to who you are today?
Well, I think water, the ocean, is something that touches every place on Earth, right? There's no place on Earth where everything is surrounded by the ocean. So it's kind of the canvas that everyone paints their lives upon. It's ubiquitous here on Earth. And I just feel that it underlines the fact that I belong here on Earth, and I belong to the planet, and for this lifetime anyway, and you got to make the most of every minute of every day.
Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Yes, please do.
I love the idea of you being in the right place at the right time, and understanding as well how pain can result in destiny being directed. And I'm saying that based on the fact that if you were probably 1 or 2 feet away from that guy who pulled you out, you could have not been here, right? So it speaks to that, and as well as you speak of your affinity to the ocean, right? Who would have thought, right, that nearly losing your life to that point where the ocean was connected, it created an opportunity for you to love it. And that, my friend, is pretty intriguing, how it connects.
Yeah, it is. I feel, at least as far as human memories go, the stronger they are, the more impact they have, whether they're positive or negative. They burn into the brain deeper. Something that's profound, either good or bad, really leaves its mark on you. And then it's up to you to process it in a way that's beneficial to your long-term viability as a person.
Yeah.
I happen to, I don't say I believe, I say I know that there is life after death and the reincarnation. People come back to Earth several times, thousands of times in some cases, to get it right and to perfect their essence, their soul, whatever you want to call it. And the memories, these deep-seated memories, are the things that are turning points and focal points for this many lifetime journey for people. So I think every experience has a purpose, and there's really no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. So you have to figure out what the reason is, and then move forward.
If we talking about moving forward, if we moved forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song when I was 12 years old. Let's see. I think it was Back in the USSR by the Beatles. They were a rock group in the 60s.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Dr. Lars?
I am ready.
Dr. Lars, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
No.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
I believe that the universe is alive and sensate and communicating with human beings. I do not believe that there's a guy with white hair and a beard who's an anthropomorphic. No. So I interpret that as you will.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Oh, of course, yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
For more than 3 hours? No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Over 3 hours a week, sure.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh, well, far less.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
Vibration is all.
Hey, Dr. Mars, this was a great pleasure, my friend. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
I just appreciate the time. It was a great, interesting conversation with you. And come find me on social media, iTunes Psychic, all one word. And I will see you in the future.
Love it, Dr. Lars Dingman. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
It was wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.